Finally, the day has come to reveal a secret guitar that I own for a while now, the brand new Ibanez Alpha. Here we go. Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm 𝗗𝙁𝙦𝗚𝙁 back from my practice dojo and welcome to today's video, today's review about the brand new Ibanez guitar called Alpha. I have this guitar for a month now and took a lot of time practicing, playing and recording with this beauty to now tell you, wow, this is definitely one of the best shred X's that I have ever played from Ibanez. When I got the first glimpse of that guitar in the summer of 2025, I was like, okay, wow. That's something new. I really like that direction because let's start with the obvious before we're going into certain details of that guitar, the look. And I mean that guitar, for me personally, who's a fan of modern shaped guitars, it just looks really, really gorgeous. I absolutely love these kind of guitars and especially with this chameleon blue, green kind of nebula color with a sparkle on it. The guitar comes in two colors as a 7-string. This nebula blue and a black one that I already received as well a couple of weeks ago, but I had to trade it with the blue one here. And as well an 8-string guitar, which comes in a purple red kind of sparkle version as well. And in iron pewter, that's the name of the black one, iron pewter. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Let's just simply call it black. It's black. So let's get into some details of that guitar before we are listening to that guitar. The Alpha guitar consists out of an American basswood body, maple walnut neck with an ebony fretboard, jumbo stainless steel frets, a multi-scale, 2 Fishman Fluence modern pickups, a monorail G2 bridge, black hardware and go-to locking tuners. And I have to say, so far this guitar plays really, really well. There is one design flaw that I would love to change, but it is a problem for me. It does not necessarily mean that it's a problem for you, but I will talk about this later. First, I want to talk about why I think this guitar plays so incredibly well. And the first one is the bridge, because I love these kind of bridges. They are really smooth, they don't have any sharp edges, no fine-tuner mechanism is in the way when we are doing our picking technique, so you barely feel the bridge. You can still do a lot of heavy chunking to it, but also the muting works extremely fine when we want to play some fast shred licks and we want to mute the strings above the string that we are playing right now. So the bridge is an absolute bonus point when it comes to playability of this guitar. The next one is this horn here. Finally, a guitar that has a not too big lower horn. So when I want to do some crazy stretches up here, I have enough space to bend my wrist as much as possible. But only for stretches. When we play in regular 4-finger position, we don't want to bend our wrist at all. Don't do that, only for stretches. So do it with cautiousness, but with this kind of horn, we can easily do some really wide stretches, or can play some, crazy wide Stephen Taranto licks. What is the one lick, for example? something like this, for example, but it's no problem at all, because here in this area nothing is touching the hand, and every time when we have resistance and something is touching our hands, it's not really good for our playability. So having this horn So low, so minimal. I absolutely love it. Super, super fine. The third thing why this guitar plays really, really well, surprisingly, is the neck. For this kind of guitar, the neck is actually quite thick, to be honest. It's not like a Wizard 3 neck, but it is a new type of neck. First of all, the obvious, it's fan fret. So we have 27" here on the lower strings and 25.5 on the higher strings, but this has nothing to do with playability, more with the sound. But it is a so-called parallel wizard neck. And from what I've heard is that it does not change the thickness in a horizontal line, so that it stays with the same thickness. Doesn't matter if we're here on the lower frets or here on the higher frets. And I cannot really explain it, but I have to say, even though that the neck is a little bit more thick, it plays really, really well. The shredding kind of feels really natural to it. I really like playing on this guitar when sitting down. And now we're talking about the two design flaws that I think that this guitar has. And it is a problem for me, especially when standing up. The first thing that I don't like that this guitar has, and I have to be honest here, I'm an Ibanez artist, I love Ibanez guitars, I love the company, but I have to be honest here for you, my viewers, because that's my honest opinion. And to be frank, a lot of modern guitars have this kind of issue or design flaw. I mean, it's more a design choice, not necessarily a design flaw, to be honest. And I don't understand why they are doing this, why they choose to design the guitar like this. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Anibal, Kiesel, I saw this so many times and I'm always asking why. Why does the horn have to start on the 17th fret and not like with an RGA, for example, on the 19th fret? The problem I have with that is the position of the thumb. And I know that's the idea where this comes from, that it's okay to put the horn a little bit more higher in position because the thumb has to be in the middle of the neck. Biomechanically speaking, bullshit. I've changed my left hand position for good by exploring the rules of biomechanics. And one rule is to avoid unnecessary tension and unnecessary muscle activation as much as possible. I talk a lot about this here on this channel. If you're new to this channel and haven't subscribed yet, I talk a lot about this. But one thing which is an ergonomic killer is to have the thumb in the middle of the neck and bending the wrist. Here we have the bending the wrist problem again. This is so painful and so problematic for so many guitar players. This may work for the one or the other, but the most amount of guitar players, the most amount of humans, because our body is the same, the way how our muscle works, I'm sorry, it is the same. It is more efficient when we have the thumb up here. Now the problem with this horn is, especially when I'm playing here on the 24th fret, that I have to stretch my thumb because it's getting stuck because of this horn. When I play it here, I have my thumb here really stretched. A lot of muscles are getting activated here in this kind of region. This kind of region, not good. For comparison, the RGA, when I play in the 24th fret, I have my thumb here, relaxed, no muscle necessarily activated, no muscle overbent or tensed or something like this. I have it really relaxed, no tension at all, here, close to the 19th fret. Super nice, super good. Playing here on the 24th fret is a dream. Back on the Alpha, it is doable, it is possible, but it's much, much harder because of the unnecessary extra tension that I have here in my thumb. So that's the thing number one, that when I would be in charge, I would change. I would put the horn slightly more here to the 19th fret, or have more like a cutaway here so that the thumb can move freely across the neck in a horizontal line, in a horizontal way. And the second thing, and I'm going to change that in a few days because I will be on tour. Actually tomorrow, after this video will come out, I will play with Alkaloid, a progressive technical death metal band. And I want to play that Alpha so desperately because there are so many things why I love playing that guitar. The sound is one of them, we will come to it later. But yeah, there are so many things why I would love to play this guitar. And the next thing I want to change is I will take this strap pin here, this one here, and we'll put it on the back of the guitar. I will screw a hole into the guitar. A professional guitar luthier is doing it, no worries, and is putting this pin here on the back. Why am I doing this? It's not the first guitar where I did this. I also did this with this RGD. You can see the new strap pin here on the back. And the reason why I'm doing this, I have this guitar strap here. When I have the strap around my neck and my shoulders, there's like a natural way how it felt, how it want to be in balance. Now the guitar is following the force of the strap, so it aligns together with the strap in the direction where the strap is pulling, which means by this guitar, the guitar is always quite on the right side of the body, which is for somebody like me who loves playing in the classical position because of this stupid thing here that started to grow a couple of years ago. It is so uncomfortable to play here in that area. My arm is constantly touching my belly and I have problems with playing it on the right side, like on the right leg, for example. It's a me problem. When I change the strap pin to the lower side, the back side of the guitar, I have the guitar all of a sudden here. I could lower it down a little bit, but I have it here, much more on the left side of my body. And now, when the strap is here, I try to hold it now, my arm playing here is completely free. Nothing is touching my belly. I have a full range of motion in playing. That would be awesome. That would be perfect. But having again the strap pin here, I constantly have to move my guitar or give it a little bit push on the right side of the guitar, so it's moving a little bit more on the left side. And I can play here a little bit easier. And having this constant push is super annoying. When I have the strap here, again, it's much more like I would play in a classical position and I'm more flexible and free in my movement. That's a great thing. I want that. This is where this pin has to go away and has to go on the back side of the guitar. Folks at Ibanez, Hoshino, please, if you're watching this video, do this on future guitars. There are so many guitar players who are telling me it feels so much more comfortable having an additional pin on the backside of the horn. Just an additional pin here. So many modern guitar companies are doing this. Please, Ibanez. A dream would become true if you would put this one as well here. It's not pinching anything, it's not hurting anything. I have experience in touring with that guitar where I have the pin on the backside. It is super awesome. Please do it. And now let's get a little bit into the sound of this guitar. As I have mentioned already, we have Fishman pickups. We have a three-way switch, so we can change between this pickup, these together, this pickup, and we have this three-way switch here where we have a split and a second voice of that guitar. I will now demonstrate a modern heavy rhythm tone with the bridge pickup. First the first position, then the second voice, and then we have the split. I'm using the archetype 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙚 plugin and the guitar sounds like this. And now with a clean sound, herefore I'm using the archetype Tim Henson plugin. I have to say, for some ambient cleans, I really like middle position, both activated, second voicing, or maybe the split. And now some leads, therefore I'm using the archetype Pliny plugin. So the rehearsals and the first few shows were done, and I have to say I'm blown away by the options and the possibilities that you have with these pickups, the switching system, the two voicings, and that kind of split function. You can really create some chuggy sounds, but also some percussive sounds, especially in the clean element, to have some ambient sounds to get a little bit more dynamic and variety. Super awesome. Okay, the final result and the final feedback of this guitar is I absolutely love that guitar. I think not only does this look great, I mean, look is always in the eye of the beholder, right? But for me, I really like this kind of modern shape, but it looks really great, it sounds really great with all the possibilities that we have. You know, the three-way switch and the Fishman pickups, the second voicing, the split, and it also feels really great. I mean, the neck is something different, and the bridge is really great. I mean, again, the only two problems, the one is fixable by just switching the strap pin to the backside of the horn. The other thing, I mean, it is still doable to play up here. It's not like you cannot play at all here, but it's not as comfortable, unfortunately, with my RGA. But still, the new Alpha is a really good guitar. I highly recommend to check that out in your local store, or check it out with the 𝗏𝗏 link that I've provided to you in the description box. So much for this little review and this little video about the brand new Ibanez Alpha guitar. Check out the music video that I shoot together with my good friend 𝙠𝙝𝙗 on the Ibanez Germany channel, coming really soon. I wish you a lot of fun learning, practicing, and mastering the guitar. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And as always, cheers and power your progress. Bye.